Sally walked through the door in the back alley, straight into the crazy restaurant kitchen. She spotted her mom stirring 3 pots while the head chef screamed at everyone.
Faster! Faster!
Sally walked up to her mom and tugged at her apron.
Mom, I need to ask you something.
Right now?
Yes, right now.
What is it then? Spit it out.
Mom, where's my daddy?
Suddenly, the bowl her mother was holding crashed to the floor.
Oh my God, you stupid, stupid woman. You're fired. Get out.
A minute later, Sally and her mother found themselves out on the street.
Mom, I'm really sorry.
You wanted to know about your dad, huh?
Yeah, we had to make a family tree in school.
Well, he's not your family. He's a good-for-nothing loser who left us. I'm your mom and your dad. And look, just mentioning him made me lose my job. He's bad luck. Not a word about him ever again. As they walked back home in silence, Sally wondered who her dad was and why he'd left. What she didn't know was that her mom wasn't telling the truth. Her dad didn't even know she existed. One day in the 10th grade, Sally was waitressing at a restaurant when suddenly a woman started to choke on something. Sally rushed to her and performed the Heimlich maneuver till she coughed out a piece of chicken.
Oh my God, you saved my life.
As all the customers applauded, the woman took Sally's hand and dragged her outside.
I don't know how to thank you, but let me try.
She took off a large diamond ring on her finger and pushed it in Sally's palm. Sally tried to refuse, but then she spotted Sally and their eyes met. Sally started walking over to her. That must be her half-sister.
What are you doing, sweetheart? I'm Cynthia. I'm running away. What does it look like?
Oh, I see. But why?
'Cause my mom's getting me an old cranky nanny again.
Well, what if I was your nanny?
You don't look old or cranky.
I'm not, darling. I'm full of nonsense and fun.
Please be my nanny. You sound freaking funny.
Meanwhile, what was happening in the mansion was crazy. Cynthia's mom couldn't find her anywhere and was certain someone had kidnapped her. She'd gone down to the police station, and when she got back with some officers, she found Cynthia and Sally.
Officers, arrest her. You, get away from my daughter.
No, Mommy. She's my new nanny.
What? You don't get to decide that, Cynthia. We have no idea what kind of person this girl is, and she looks too poor.
Mom, you always choose my nannies, and they're awful. It's either her or no one.
Cynthia's mom had no choice, so she hired Sally and asked her to move in. Sally was so excited that she'd finally meet her dad, but the poor thing had no clue that she had so much trouble ahead of her. When Sally left for her room, Bella, Cynthia's sister, showed up.
Oh, you're back? I was hoping this time you were gone for good, brat. Oh yeah? I'm back, witch. And guess what? I picked my own nanny. Wait till you see her. She's so much prettier than you. I can't wait for your boyfriend to meet her. Maybe he'll finally dump you.
Watch your mouth, you little monster. And when Sally saw that they were the most gorgeous hazel color, they stared at each other for a few seconds, then quickly jumped to their feet.
That was quite a greeting. You could have just said hello.
You could have just knocked.
I thought this room was empty. Who are you?
What? Who are you?
I asked first. Who are you?
I'm Sally, Cynthia's nanny. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Bella's boyfriend, Alan. Or at least I was. I think we just broke up for the 20th time.
With that, he climbed out the window.
It was nice to meet you, Sally. Also, your accent is kinda hot.
And then he jumped. As Alan drove off on his motorbike, he couldn't stop thinking about Sally's eyes. The next day, Sally was determined to tell her dad the truth. She waited for him in the living room, but Cynthia told her that he'd left for a business trip. Sally decided to wait for him, but she had no idea how long she'd have to. One night, Alan crept up the wall to Sally's window and knocked gently. When she pulled back the curtains and saw him, she looked more annoyed than surprised. If you've come back to make up with Bella, why aren't you using her window?
I'm not here for her. I'm here for you. Come with me. I want to show you something.
But what about Bella?
We broke up, remember? It's for good this time. Now come.
Sally felt hesitant, but she looked into his warm eyes and just couldn't say no. As the two climbed down and sneaked off across the gardens, they had no clue they were being watched by Bella. Bella ran across the house and burst into her mother's room.
Mom, wake up! Do you have any idea what's happening under your...
Cynthia's mother called up Sally immediately. Of course she's not with me, ma'am. I don't know where she is.
Sally, you have to come back right now and help me find my baby. I know if anyone can find Cynthia, it's you. Please, I'm begging you.
Sally immediately Sally asked the cab driver to take her back to the mansion. When she was close, she suddenly shouted, "Wait! Stop right here!" She jumped out of the cab and picked up a teddy bear from the road. It was Cynthia's. Cynthia had realized by now that she was completely lost. Suddenly, she looked up to see Sally and ran straight into her arms. Cynthia's mother ran out crying when she saw the two walking in through the gate and hugged her tight.
Mom, is Sally going somewhere? If she leaves, I'm gonna run away again.
Cynthia's mother grit her teeth. Her plan had failed, but she had no choice. Bella was absolutely furious. As Sally walked back into her room, Bella suddenly grabbed her wrist and whispered, "Listen to me, witch. You're only back here because you seem to be very lucky. But don't you dare go near my boyfriend ever again." With no clue of what had happened the night before, Alan reluctantly went to the mansion the next morning. Bella's mother had called him in. When he walked into the living room, he found Bella and her mother there. "Before you say anything, Mrs. Charles, please hear me out. I can't do this anymore. I don't love your daughter." And suddenly, Bella's mom flung over a small table angrily, smashing a vase to pieces. Just then, they all heard a loud voice from the hall. "Is Sally here? I need to see Sally, please." The door opened and a really handsome boy walked in. His eyes instantly met Sally's across the room. She wondered who he was, while he was thinking he'd never seen anyone more beautiful in his life. Mr. Charles walked up to the boy and hugged him.
"Oh, Jake, this is so wonderful. I had no idea you were in town."
"It's good to see you, Uncle Charles. Dad and I had to come for business suddenly, and we're staying at a hotel for a few days."
"At a hotel? Of course not. You'll be staying here with us."
Just then, an older gentleman walked in, and he and Mr. Charles hugged. They were good old friends. All the drama happening before was forgotten as Mr. Charles led his friend to the other room, and everyone else followed. But Jake stayed behind with Sally.
"You're Sally, right? I was looking for you."
Yes, I am. And why?" Jake handed Sally her wallet, saying he'd found it outside by the gate. Sally thanked him, and as he was leaving, he suddenly turned around.
"I was looking for your ID, and I found the letter inside. I'm sorry, I really wasn't snooping, but I did read the letter."
"Are you Mr. Charles's daughter? Does he know?" Sally had kept a copy of the letter with her in the wallet. No, please, don't say a word. No one here knows. They just know me as Cynthia's babysitter. I've been trying to find the right time to tell him, but I haven't yet. Can you please keep it to yourself?"
"Don't worry, Sally. Your secrets, don't do it with me, please."
And with that, Mr. Charles left the room. Bella and Alan were also walking outside when they spotted Sally and Jake from a distance. Alan felt crazy jealous when he saw them holding hands. He started walking back towards them angrily, but Bella suddenly stepped in his way and pushed him back.
What do you think you're doing, Alan? Do you need me to remind you of the agreement between our families? Want to talk to my mother again?
Alan felt furious, but he turned around abruptly and stormed off to the house, thinking how he'd like to punch that Jake. Later that night, Sally heard a knock on her door. The minute she opened it, Bella pounced on her and pinned her down to the ground. "I know what you're trying to do, Sally. I'm a girl like you. I know all your games." Sally pushed her off and leapt to her feet. "What are you talking about, you psycho?"
I know you're just flirting with Jake to make Alan jealous.
"Oh, is that so? Well, maybe I am, and I hope it's working."
In your dreams, witch. You'll never get Alan, so stop acting so desperate. I swear, if my stupid sister wasn't in love with you, I'd have your butt kicked out this second.
"Bella, I'm just tired of you acting like a big baby. Just get out before I punch your stupid face."
I'm watching you, Sally. Don't cross me.
Bella walked out, and Sally slammed the door hard behind her. But as Bella walked away, she looked down at Sally's wallet that she'd sneaked out as she left the room. Alan stared at Sally in shock, then turned around and left, with Bella running after him.
"I can't believe she stole your letter, but it's good she didn't figure out the truth.
And how dare that Alan call you useless?
At least we're rid of him. He won't bother us anymore."
"Us? What are you talking about?"
"Oh, no, don't get me wrong. I just thought maybe we..."
"There is no we or us. I just want everyone to leave me alone." And with that, Sally ran up to her room while Jake blinked away his tears furiously.
"Be a man, Jake. There's no such thing as love at first sight. She doesn't love you, and that's that."
Meanwhile, Sally was furiously pacing in her room, thinking she would just tell everyone the truth tonight. She couldn't deal with all this anymore. Alan was sulking on the bench outside, while Bella was going on and on about Sally. Suddenly, he turned to Bella and said, "Let's have our engagement party tonight.
What are we waiting for?
Tonight, but what about all the preparations? I don't even have anything to wear.
I'll get you a dress, and I'm sure your parents will be happy to take care of everything else. I want to do it tonight, Bella.
Bella looked at him and then shrieked in excitement and went running inside. Mom, Dad, Alan and I are getting engaged tonight. Get the freaking party started. Sally looked at her from upstairs in shock. Alan was getting engaged? Tonight? Alan got a dress for Bella as promised and handed it to her maid. Then he hesitantly walked over to Sally's door and almost knocked. But then his family is respectful and they won't accept some gold digger as his girlfriend. So save yourself the heartache. And then Sally lost it. You know what, Mrs. Charles? I'm just sick of your nonsense. I love Cynthia, but even she can't convince me to stay here another minute. I'm done with all of you, and I'm leaving right now. As she turned to leave, she bumped into her dad and she just brushed past him.
Sally, wait.
But she was stopping for no one now. Sally headed straight for the front door, and when she opened it, she almost fell back in shock. Mom? Sally flung herself in Mom's arms, and just then, her dad came running behind her. When he saw Sally's mom, he froze in shock.
Laura, is that really you? And you're Sally's mom? Is she my daughter?
No, she's not your daughter. She's my daughter, and I'm here to take her back. As Mom took Sally's arm and started walking away, Dad blocked her.
You told me you had a miscarriage. You lied to me.
So what if I did? If I told you the truth, what would you have done? Would you have left your wealth and your family and married a kitchen maid? I don't think so. Not when you could have had a millionaire wife.
No, that's not true.
But it is, Mr. Charles. Or should I say Dad? I've lived with you people for weeks now, and you're all so shallow. And you think everyone else only cares about money too. I made a big mistake looking for you.
Sally, please don't say that. And I'm so sorry, Laura.
Suddenly spotted Jake leaving and ran out after him. Jake, please wait.
Sally, I know you don't love me. And it's okay, really. I just hope that Alan deserves you.
He kissed her on the cheek and left. Sally turned around to see Alan standing behind her. You know, I'm still mad at you. Like, really mad at you. You were awful to me and said things that hurt me.
I know. My anger and jealousy drove me to do some really stupid things.
The truth is, I fell in love with you from the first moment